very frizzy-haired woman.
Fuck off.
Alright, well, I guess that there was a little bit of confusion. I guess some people were under the impression you were not necessarily a men's rights activist, but at least someone who understands the score.
I would say I definitely understand it. May not be for it because I lose all of my benefits of being female. But I understand that it's definitely not fair.
So, even understanding that it's pretty well fucked up, you just are of the mind of staying the course as it benefits you.
Well, eventually it will stop. So in the meantime, I want to enjoy it.
That's kind of messed up. One of the comments that we had gotten was in regards to that women get to choose, but men essentially have to choose the ugly chicks.
In a way, um, women will downgrade their standards. To us, that is what we would consider the pussy, the bitch, blah, blah, blah. So, for us, we do have our own version. Men usually think of it as the fugly chick.
Alright, but I think the issue is why is it seemingly socially acceptable for females to have standards, yet men are expected to behave as though it's our duty to essentially take a few for the team. I mean, it's almost socially expected of us, yet you are allowed to choose.
Somewhere in history, it altered. I have no idea where that is, but considering it's socially accepted across the world, it had to have happened for some reason.
Alright, now, just that's all you can really give there?
You want me to give a straight answer, but we're female. We've grown up to expect to get what we want. Do I know where that came from? Not really. It happened sometime, obviously. There was a slight culture shift, and it continued down that path to this point where we're supposed to get everything that we want. At least that's what we think.
I think I have some bad news for you. It doesn't quite work that way.
Well, eventually you have to rebound when you go too far to one side or the other.
Now, I've seen this from time to time, as of late, the topic of alimony. Now, in this sense, what is your opinion on alimony now that it is becoming more and more common that the woman now has to pay?
Um, I don't actually see a huge problem with it being equal payment if one was the breadwinner and the other was stayed at home for whatever reasons. The other one, according to how the law is set up, should have to pay. Now, if I worked at McDonald's and my husband sat around in his ass and did nothing, then I would actually feel really pissed off that I even had to bother to pay. So I don't really think it's fair in the actual law of having alimony for either party.
I think that puts you in a very small category of women.
Probably.
Now, here's a little different question. As far as sleeping around, all right, what are your thoughts on it?
I had a very harsh lesson of cause and effect, what happens when a woman cheats. He gave me the fuck you. So, I didn't learn by any means. It took many, many more years for me to have to learn. I have been cheated on. Either way, I don't think it's that fair for specifically cheating. If you want an open relationship, that's your own deal.
Alright. Now, at one point in time, you had described yourself as a gold digger.
Yeah.
Alright. Now, what traits would you be looking for?
It was mostly money. It really was. I was in kindergarten when I decided my dream was to stay at home and have a man pay for everything, and I would have a butler and a maid in my own room.
You decided this in kindergarten?
Well, the first thing I wanted to be was a ballet teacher. Decided I really sucked at gymnastics. So I decided I wanted my own room and a man to take care of me.
So, a professional prostitute.
Kind of. It could be seen as that.
Now, you've been married twice. I've had the interesting experience of meeting one of them at a bar on the other side of the country, kind of randomly.
Yeah.
From what I've seen of your husbands, you seem to go for those that don't have much of a will of their own.
They're really good puppies. They do what I want, and pretty much those shit tests, well, they fail them every time. And they really would just do anything I said.
Now, as you're describing this, I can imagine plenty of guys out there and kind of cringing and shielding their balls. Now, I've met a few of your other friends. Now, how many of your female friends tend to look for the same traits?
All of them? I don't know of one that has one that doesn't fail every shit test.
So what you're saying is essentially y'all just want servants.
Kind of. Remember that I want a butler and a maid? Kind of the same thing.
Alright. Now, when it comes to sex, all right. No, I'm trying to be serious on this one here. You seem to have a lot of dysfunctional relationships. I'm kind of curious. From like what age were you sexually active?
Consistently from 11.
Damn. You said early. That's a bit excessive. Wait a minute. You just said consistently.
Yes. Consistently meaning my first real relationship. It was a female that I dated for a year and a half.
All right. Now, you've mentioned you've had boyfriends and girlfriends. From your experience, I mean, how promiscuous is the general female population been becoming over the last 15 years or so?
Well, the no shit will be I started at 11.
Yeah.
Next, it would be almost all women cheat.
Okay, then on that note, like, to what extent, as far as what you've seen?
They'll at least get head. Minimum.
Did you mean to say give head or get head?
Receive. They receive head.
Oh, dude, that's disgusting.
As long as technically they didn't do anything, then they didn't cheat.
No. It's nasty because as she goes and porks her boyfriend and he goes and blows a load up in her until she goes and bleeds out, all that junk is still in there. So whatever guy is going down on her, he's getting a mouthful of some dude's nut.
I feel bad for you then. I don't know. I only dated straight lesbians, so I never had to deal with any of that.
But you do understand what I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
Okay, now, how many times have you cheated on a boyfriend with another guy?
I couldn't count. It's that many.
And you still expected your boyfriend to go down on you?
No. I was smart about it and did right before I started.
You are a sick bitch.
Well, if I'm not getting it at home, I'm getting it somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. So, let's see. So, all women cheat.
Yes.
Now, is it for just pure physical or emotional or what?
Okay, women are irrational, so it's all of the above and more. If we are ignored or believe we're ignored, like you fail a shit test and just don't listen to her nagging about taking out the garbage, then she could decide that you're not actually listening to her. And she'll go find some guy that will let her cry on their shoulder. And then they'll eventually end up at least getting oral. It most likely is going further than that because if the guy is that much of a bitch, he's gonna give it up.
If he's that much of a bitch?
If he's seriously going to sit there and listen to her cry about how her boyfriend or ex-boyfriend is ignoring her and how horrible the relationship was. If you seriously fall for that sap line and then go ahead and fuck her within an hour of it, you're a bitch.
Well, that's an interesting take on it. All right. I mean, typically we would assume that wouldn't necessarily be the case.
Okay, so if it's not because he's ignoring her, it's because she's not getting it enough.
No. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the little puppy dog. I mean, typically we would assume you'd go for probably something a bit more aggressive.
We're looking for a rebound, for an easy lay, to make us feel good about ourselves, so that we can just move on. It's not, we're looking for a new man, we're just looking for a good time.
A self-esteem boost.
Pretty much.
That's kind of pathetic.